The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on Bruce Arians' face just showed up on the television, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
You mean old you?
Shut. How do you not score a single friggin' point?
Do you realize that's the first time Tom Brady's been shut out in 15 years?
Yeah. 255 straight starts without being shut out.
And I loved every single second of it.
I'm sure you did, because you hate things. You were a hater of things, and it's just
You know what you didn't do yesterday?
What?
Wow, winning.
Yeah, no.
None of that.
There was none of that.
No, you didn't do that.
There was none of that. As my DraftKings lineup that I painstakingly put together scored 74 points.
Yeah, you know what I did yesterday? And if you listen to David Smith and I yesterday, you probably did a lot of that.
Nice. Cashing in?
I had one lineup that was just so fucking good. And then the others were, hey, maybe I'll cash. Yeah, late touchdown.
Hey, good for you.
Tyler Huntley, thank fucking you.
What in the hell was Week 15 in the NFL? Oh, we still got 4 games to go, so it could get even worse.
It's going to get even weirder.
It could be great. Oh, we didn't. I did not see any of that coming yesterday. The Saints shut out the Buccaneers. You got the Lions beat the Cardinals.
It was a great end basically to 2021.
Yeah.
Hey, this whole year's been drunk. Let's watch Week 15. Holy shit. What was that?
It was awful. And hey, if you were in the fantasy playoffs,
you're probably not anymore.
I hope you skated by. I hope you skated by this week.
If you were in the fantasy playoffs and you were a high seed, you probably got your shit pushed in.
Yeah. If you went Travis Kelce, no matter what, in the first round, you were very happy going into the Sunday action. And then the rest of your team took a big old shit on your chest like they were OBJ on a late Saturday night in Cleveland.
So I'll tell you a fun story.
God.
I'm in a league where my first 2 picks were Travis Kelce and Jonathan Taylor. Those 2 by themselves beat my first round opponent. If everybody else on my team had died, I'd have still won by 4.
Right. Oh my God. Anyhow, welcome into the program. We are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. It was a weekend filled with lots of emotion here as we had the funeral services for Pacey Short on Saturday. A lot of healing took place. And then yesterday, the NFL I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I took my kids to watch Spider-Man, which was fantastic, by the way.
And that's the reason that your team got their shit pushed in.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because the world was punishing you for not watching the NFL action. Considering
Is that what it was?
You do this for a living.
I did. Yeah. Look, it's holiday week. Everybody's on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
We're
literally the only ones here.
Brandy Vick's here.
Oh, yeah,
Kevin Vick's wife. Kevin Vick's wife's here.
And unfortunately, since nobody else felt the urge to come to work today, she's locked out of what she needs.
Yeah.
Who's shocked?
Nobody.
Anybody? Show of hands.
Okay. So, and you want to know how really weird this week was? Chief Zach is winning the Beat the Chief contest. Something we have not seen since Week 3 of the NFL season. Chief Zach is actually winning the Pick'em contest. He's up 3-2. Jeremy and I are both 2-3, and we've got 2 games to go. We got one coming up today, one coming up tomorrow as well. But anyway, it was an absolutely weird week. Hopefully you did well in your fantasy playoffs, or did as well as you possibly could in your fantasy playoffs, with every running back in the world dying except for Duke Johnson.
Yeah, if you had Duke Johnson as the leading scoring running back yesterday, you're the devil.
Duke Johnson and Jeff Wilson. Yeah, thanks for that Jeff Wilson tip, by the way.
You know what? Jeff Wilson is my ex-wife of fantasy football. Every time I trust you, you just absolutely screw me sideways.
Yeah.
Hold on. Devin Jubba, first one in the comments.
I'm your huckleberry.
Had to gas up the truck yesterday, $110. Let's go, Brandon. Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah.
The New York Jets yesterday did, in one of our first wins, our social media team, Brandon Eccles had a pick six. The tagline was, "Let's go, Brandon."
Yes.
I want you to imagine, as a team centered in New York, when that gets posted on your socials, just assume that the comments went,
Bing.
and me, I was here for the trolling.
Right. Oh, God. He did that. Let's go, Brandon.
Bingo.
God.
It was a great pick. And then he got hurt on the next play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jason Trump says we should talk about fantasy football playoff strategies.
Let me give you here's the best strategy. This is some hardcore advice.
Okay.
If you are in your fantasy football playoffs and you survive this week, you should get out your rosary or your Bible or whatever it is that you pray to and just pray that it somehow works.
Right.
Because I won't be shocked if the leading scorers next week are Drew Lock and Chase Reynolds.
Chase Reynolds?
He was
Craig Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds. Fourth. He was the fourth highest scoring running back. I played him in a league because I had to.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of my other running backs were DED dead.
Right.
Worked out.
Worked out for you?
Worked
okay. All right, let's go. Let's start the game-by-game recaps here. The Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
And nobody throws interceptions and underthrows receivers and overthrows receivers like Cam Newton.
I am dumbfounded at how many Panthers fans I saw that went, "Don't blame Cam Newton. It is not Cam's fault. He played admirably, blah, 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 blah." I don't know what you're going to need to understand. First of all, if you want the greatest microcosm of a team's season ever, just realize Zane Gonzalez got hurt in warm-ups, and they were auditioning kickers in warm-ups.
Yep.
P.J. Walker was out there trying to kick field goals. I have just a slew of questions, not the least of which is, how the fuck have you not already done that? How are you doing this on the field going, "Hey, does anybody know how to kick? Anybody ever done this before?" Nobody was a punter in high school. None of you. Okay. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
It's unbelievable.
Armchair commentary. Can't wait to watch
I'm your huckleberry.
Alex Leatherwood and Josh Jacobs tonight. # Roll Tide.
God damn it.
You know.
Why? What?
All right, that's enough of that.
Thank you.
If I keep it under 5 seconds, maybe I won't have to go back and mute it in the. So I have to do that every single freaking day.
Yeah, you get the copyright claim on the YouTube
By the way,
video.
this has nothing to do with football at all.
Yep.
And who's shocked that I want to break it out?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a new Tiger King.
Okay.
Not the one you know about.
Okay.
There's a Doc Antle special, and that dude is fucking weird. Who's shocked? Who watched that guy on the first one and went, "You know what? I bet that guy doesn't have any stories."
Oh, there's a story.
The guy riding elephants and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I got sucked into it last night at about 2 o'clock in the morning, which is why, yet again, for the second day in a row, my eyes look like 2 pert buttholes.
So this is the Doc Antle story.
Oh, yeah, he's apparently like a fucking child molester. How it took 2 years for that to come out?
Can I ask the question you just asked?
didn't
Who's
see that
shocked?
going.
Who's shocked that this guy's a child molester?
Yeah, one of the weirdest lines you will ever hear in your life was 3 different middle-aged women going, he would only let me eat 800 calories a day because he wanted me to keep the body frame of a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing and I went, this should be surprising me. And yet, not one iota.
How many of them did he keep in cages? That's what I want to know.
Probably a slew of them.
Right. Like, when I first saw him, I went, oh, God. There's some gross stuff in there.
Some skeezy shit.
I mean, he's keeping people in, like, POW camps.
Oh,
like,
he's weird. He has a harem, and he looks up to a yogi. Not like hey,
like Barra?
Not like hey boo boo. Not that one.
Like 50% of the game
like a dude in a dress that does yoga.
90% of the game is half mental. That yogi was that.
That's Yogi Berra.
You're right.
Oh, I was talking about Yogi Bear.
Oh.
And actually, I wasn't talking about either one of them. I was talking about a dude in a dress that goes, "Hey, do what I say."
Is he the biggest fan of Yogi Ferrell ever? He's just a huge Indiana basketball
Sacramento
fan.
Kings. Yeah, he was betting Sacramento first half overs for years.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, so
how did you get sucked into that?
I don't know. That is
it said Tiger King on it, and he went,
Five questions I have asked in my entire life. How in the shit do you get sucked into a cult? I mean, look, I'm sure there are a lot of good people have been sucked into cults. I just would love to know how you don't ask questions. Like, the dude with the soul patch. First of all, don't trust a man with a soul patch. Ever. Ever. It is never conducive. But that guy keeps telling me to do things, and like, I feel like I'm not at liberty to do the things that I want to do. Fuck it. I'm going to use one of my favorite lines. Run the damn away!
Run the damn away. Okay, all right.
Well, it's not run the damn ball. There's no... Kelvin Joyner said same way someone gets sucked into a gang. I can't discredit that.
Yeah.
I've never understood it. I've never understood how... And they're always the douchiest people, too. Like that Keith Raniere guy that ran Nexium. How do you look at this little fat shit and go, I'm going to follow him to the end of the world? But he's so brilliant. He has the highest IQ ever. How?
He cheated.
100%. And has he ever proven that?
Mm-hmm.
I got a 1380 or 1480. Honey, what did we get on the... My wife and I got the same score on the SAT. And I never remember what it was. Could have been a 980. I fucking don't remember.
A 980. Good for you. High score. Weekly high score for Jeremy. High score. Did I break it?
High score. What does that mean? Did I break it?
What?
My button.
What?
I'm looking for a specific button and apparently don't have
I'm your
it.
huckleberry.
Devin said, Doc Antle says, build a harem 60% of the time. It works every time. Sorry, that was a rant that I was just determined I was getting into the show today.
Yeah.
Bhagavan.
Bhagavan.
Never follow a man whose name is Bhagavan.
Nope. Buffalo Bills win 31-14 over the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton sucks again. And no, I don't see how you come out of the, but he rushed for 71 yards yesterday.
Whoopee-doo.
Yay. Okay, so he was top 15 in the rushing yards in the NFL yesterday.
Which is sad.
Which, that is true. That is absolutely true. He did finish top 15
Which
in
is
rushing yards
sad.
yesterday.
That is sad. A sad state of affairs.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the leading receiver yesterday for the Carolina Panthers?
Oh, I'm going to go with Tommy Tremble.
No.
I have no idea.
Tommy Tremble had a catch for 8 yards, which was good enough for fifth. Brandon Zylstra was fourth. Amir
the kicker.
Abdullah.
Okay.
Amir Abdullah led this team in receiving yards yesterday. Just, okay. Like, okay.
By the way, Gabriel Davis, if you listen to me on Gabriel Davis.
And me.
Yeah.
I agreed with you on that one.
I know. I'm just saying that's
that
only that's one of the only things I got right yesterday. So I'm going to highlight that every chance I can. 2 touchdowns from Josh Allen as the Buffalo Bills rolled over the Carolina Panthers. Who's surprised?
Kevin Vick.
Yep.
I'm your boy.
He said scored more touchdowns than Tom Brady. Bingo.
He did.
60% of the time. Works every time.
He did.
There's nothing from that game.
No, Miami took on the New York Jets, and they covered. Your Jets covered.
End of analysis.
End of analysis.
It was, holy God. That was one of the hardest games to watch I think I've ever seen in my life. My Jets are bad.
Yep.
And that's fine. It's fine.
It's fine because that's where you need to be. You need to be losing games.
I'm here for the gangbang.
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Or Michael Vick. Jesus Christ. Michael Whiteside. Points for Kevin Vick, who has scored more than Tom Brady did
Nice.
already in this show.
Get your punches in while you can.
I'm gonna.
I'm going to. Get it all out of your system.
Have not nary a fear. I'm gonna.
You do realize the last 2 times we won Super Bowls, you got swept by the New Orleans Saints in the regular season. Just throw that out there.
Yeah. Ain't gonna happen this time. You might have had a living, breathing corner then.
Possibly.
Because you don't now.
Nope, we definitely do not.
You don't have one of those right now.
But the one highlight of the Dolphins Jets game was Duke Johnson.
He wasn't even on the damn team.
Anybody can run on the New York Jets except for Myles Gaskin.
And Myles Gaskin had a couple.
Malcolm Brown, was he back?
No. I saw Gaskin and I saw a lot of Duke
Johnson.
Johnson.
Settle for Duke Johnson, who had 107 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on 22 carries. It's a pretty damn good day.
Evan Doyle asked, how has Zach Wilson been since he returned? Let's see.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
Not great. He's been better than Trevor Lawrence, which that's a thing.
Yeah, not saying much. That's not saying much.
I guess that's a thing. Speaking of the Jacksonville,
shows a lot of fight.
Speaking of the Jacksonville Jaguars,
back
in first place, baby. Jacksonville Jaguars back in first place
for the number 1 pick
in the wild AFC. The AFC is insanity.
Yeah.
Do you realize that there are only 3 teams in the AFC that have not won 6 or more games, and those 3 combined have 7 wins?
Mm-hmm.
2 of which are against one. Actually, 3 of which are against one another.
You got another one coming up.
The Jaguars, Jets, and Houston Texans have combined to win 4 games that weren't against one another.
Yep. And you got another one coming up next week. And aren't the Jets playing the Jaguars this week?
Oh, if you watch that game, you need your fucking head examined. I don't care if you're fucking somebody on the team. I don't care if you birth somebody on the team. Watch anything else. Hell, watch Yellowstone.
Go see Spider-Man again.
Go see Spider-Man. Watch Yellowstone. People have told me both are good. I haven't seen either one.
Awesome. I don't know why. I've been telling you for weeks you need to start watching Yellowstone.
Adam Black said, I heard a guy on Fox Sports saying the Jaguars should go get Dabo Sweeney.
Why?
The next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars is one person.
Okay.
And it's the only good hire I think you have. It's Byron Leftwich. If you don't hire Byron Leftwich, you fucking did it wrong. Because that's about the only person that you're going to get into that train wreck of a dumpster fire of a sewer juice that wants to be there.
That actually cares about the franchise.
That's literally, name me anybody else.
David Garrard, is he still around somewhere?
He might still be playing somewhere. He played for the Jets. It was bad.
Byron Leftwich.
That's all that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, it does make a lot of sense. Obviously, the connection he has with his playing days in Jacksonville.
Because you cannot hire another college coach. We're done there. By the way, did you hear?
But I also don't feel like this is a job that goes to a first-time head coach.
Oh, I do.
Really? See, I can see like Jim Caldwell.
I mean, and that's fine. You got to sell the fan base on something.
Mm-hmm. We bring in a guy who actually has a winning record as a head coach in this league. He's a culture builder, all that,
you're not selling
all those buzzwords.
But that's not selling tickets. It's just
yeah,
not.
you got to get away from that.
Yeah, but you're the one team that has to do that.
Yeah.
You're the one NFL team that doesn't just print money, so you're going to have to do something. And unfortunately, you're going to probably have the number 1 pick because I don't think they can beat us, and they're sure as fuck not beating anybody else.
Mm-mm.
you're going to have the number one pick in a year where there's not somebody to get real excited about. They're going to take Kayvon Thibodeau 1.
Right.
Because there's not, I mean, you've already got a quarterback. There's really nobody else. So, to me, it's Byron Leftwich. And did you hear Urban Meyer's daughter?
No.
She said, with all the things that have been said about my father, this is war. Well, let me add another one. Your dad's a douchebag. And that's probably the nicest thing I could say about him.
This is war.
He's a philandering asshole that thinks he's smarter than he is. I wish I could buy him for what he's worth and sell him for what he thought he was worth, and I would live on the interest for the rest of my earth-born life. Sorry, I had to get that out. I read that article, and I was just pissed. I was yelling at a cell phone screen.
No, the one tweet that I did see from her was like talking about how they just don't want us to succeed. Us? First off, us? No.
There's no us. Unless you got a mouse in your pocket,
right.
There's no us.
There is no us. Like, you're not part of this. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody knows who you are. Second off, no, your dad's an idiot who was in over his skis from the second he was hired in the NFL.
Oh, no, he was never in over his skis. He was just a douche. I mean, Urban Meyer was one of the, I'd say, 10 or 15 smartest guys in the NFL. Here's the problem. He thought he was one with a bullet.
I don't even kind of see that. I mean, all of the things that he went through of the Tim Tebow shit, that was dumb.
That's because he thinks he's smarter than everyone else.
Running afoul of NFL rules during practices and shit.
Because he thinks he's smarter than everyone else.
Yeah, I look at that completely
Urban
different.
Meyer and Chip Kelly the exact same way. They're not dumbasses.
Mm-hmm.
They're both really smart. The problem is that they're too smart for their own good.
They think the rules don't apply to them. Is that what you're saying?
Too, yeah. Because you come from college, and the rules really don't apply to you.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I looked at his entire tenure.
I can't believe you're
and
actually trying to look at me and tell me that Urban Meyer is an idiot.
When it comes to running an NFL franchise,
that might be the dumbest thing you've ever said. The dude has 3 national titles. Yeah, he's pretty fucking bright.
Good at running college teams, not good in the NFL.
Game. We're talking about two completely
different things.
Yeah,
we're talking about two completely different things. I'm talking about the administration and the running of a franchise. They put it all on him. Of course not.
Well, first of all, they didn't put it all on him. That's why they brought in Trent Baalke, which was a stupid hire because he had contentious issues with Jim Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
But now, in terms of Urban Meyer's intelligence and his ability to succeed, oh yeah, he could succeed in this league.
No, I'm not saying that
he needed to be humbled aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
But to say the man doesn't know what he's talking about is asinine. He's a great football coach. He's a horrible human being.
Mm-hmm.
And grown men really do not like being talked to like that.
Yeah.
And it shows with every person that's come out and gone, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. I know, from the moment he stepped into that office and into that front office, everything just started to go to hell.
Well, there's a multitude of reasons for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he was coaching the New England Patriots, do you think that would have gone the same way? Because I don't.
You don't.
It was a combination of the worst organization in pro sports and a coach that thinks he's way smarter than he is.
Right. But the Jacksonville Jaguars now have a hold on the number 1 pick and the draft. And you think it's Kayvon Thibodeau?
If it's them, yeah. If they have the number 1 pick, they would take Thibodeau.
Why would it not be Hutchinson?
Hutchinson's he would fit depending on, and all this kind of matters on who the coach would be.
Mm-hmm.
Hutchinson just fits in Detroit better to me. Kayvon Thibodeau's the name. He's the Khalil Mack clone that you can get people excited about. Put on the other end of Josh Allen. Aiden Hutchinson fits Detroit. And please, for the love of God, it's Mock Draft Monday. So I know this is coming. Stop putting quarterbacks in the top 5 of this draft. There's not one there.
None of them?
I don't care how many times you try to shoehorn this into something. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I had Kenny Pickett going at 3. Could it happen? Sure. Should it? No.
No. But this is what teams have been doing. And you think the teams are learning? You think they're actually learning of, we shouldn't try to force in a quarterback here when there's not one to be taken?
Well, I mean, be really honest with yourself. I would take a shot on a quarterback every single year.
Okay.
And you know what confirms that to me?
What's that?
Because I saw it yesterday.
Tyler Huntley?
That's the one. Tyler Huntley, to me, is the reason that, you know what, you just take a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And after watching him yesterday, he's a starter in this league. Tyler Huntley will be a starter in this league. You mark my words.
Okay.
And it will probably be quicker than you think. Now, I've heard this narrative of, oh, now they don't have to pay Lamar. No, they're still going to pay Lamar. Just probably not as much as you think.
Right.
Because now you have all the leverage in the world.
Hey, we got this guy that can come in and do the same thing
Tyler
you do.
Huntley came in and was, I'm going to be honest with you, it was really good. Now, are they going to look at Lamar and go, okay, we're $20 million. That's the best we can do? No.
No, that's dumb.
But you do have leverage now because Tyler Huntley was good. I was dumbfounded at how good.
I was too.
Now, did he make some young kiddie mistakes? Yeah. It's your second start in the NFL.
Yep.
Third time you've seen real serious game action in your career.
Yep.
But he was incredibly impressive.
I mean, that was the best game of the day yesterday.
Oh, beyond a shadow of a
Green
doubt.
Bay, Baltimore, that was the best game of the day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the fact that they went for 2 still kind of baffles me.
And I would be remiss if I didn't point out that you lost that.
I did lose that.
Woo!
Had the outright winner right, but didn't cover the spread. Not even close.
Now, hold on.
Yep.
I'm going to hope that you're not going to say they should have kicked the PAT. My wife and I argued about this last night. Not argued. We just had what we could call a civil disagreement about what you do here.
How many times do you have to fail it?
Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Why does he keep doing it? There's a very simple reason why, because the defense is not any good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give the ball back to Aaron Rodgers, he's going to beat you. Period.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow him to go into overtime and you give him 10 full minutes, he's going to beat you. There was one range of outcomes there where you win that game.
Yep.
Period. And that is, you go for 2, you convert it, you give him 42 seconds, and then Mason Crosby fucks him.
Okay.
That's the only way you're winning that game.
I don't necessarily hate the fact that they went for 2. I hate the play that they called. The play was, he had one option, and that's it.
Well, and that's, I didn't love the play call.
Right.
I didn't. And I understand why you roll the kid out because he's mobile and I get it.
But he never
You cut the field in half.
Mm-hmm.
And so now anything that's happening on the backside, nobody cares.
Nope.
So as soon as he rolls out that way, you know he's not going back across his body like that. So you just kind of screwed him there.
Yeah, but you only had one option, and I don't like that at all. You need to give multiple options to your quarterback, and he didn't at one. He never had a lane to run through.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I don't look at the screen because
Okay.
I want to see your face when I tell you what I'm getting ready to tell you.
Okay.
Chris Godwin's done for the year.
You are one pathetic loser.
Of course.
Should be back for the playoffs.
Well, I mean, at
did
least
have
there's
to-
that.
I had to.
At least there's that. God Almighty.
Yeah.
Ah,
Just taking all them
the struggles.
L's. Just taking all them L's.
that's fine. It's fine. Still,
Oh, yeah. No Chris Godwin.
still
You'll be
going
fine.
for 2. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. And it's going to end about the way Baltimore's going for 2 went yesterday.
Yeah, more than
But
likely.
that's still the right call.
Going for 2 at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
I agree, and John Harbaugh said it after the game, and I agree with him. You didn't want to go into the overtime period, with down in personnel, basically. I mean, Aaron Rodgers versus Tyler Huntley. How many times you gonna run? How many times you gonna roll those dice?
See,
and
this is
hope
one
that
of
it
those,
comes out in your favor.
See, this is one of those analytic things that I look at and go, you have to know what the percentages say here.
Mm-hmm.
Because even, all right, let's say you kick the PAT. Aaron gets the ball back and he sits on it. How that would ever happen, I have no idea. It's hypothetical.
Yep.
You get the ball back. Their defense is pretty good. Now, I understand that all they have to do is keep you out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
That is all they give a shit about. They'll give you the Tucker field goal. They could care less.
Right.
Because then you have to give the ball back to Aaron. And do you see any shot in hell they stop him from scoring?
No.
No. And yes, it's at home. I heard a lot of that of, if it was on the road, I totally get it. I don't care if they played it in the middle of the ocean. I don't care if they played that on Mars. That's the right call.
Yeah. You got to hope. You got to hope that you get the coin flip.
The old adage that I was once told was the only team that wants to play more is the team with a better quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wasn't you. He was
I understand that. If you're going to overtime, though, you got to think about it, or at least I think about it in the sense of, if we get this 2-point conversion, game's over, we win, we go home. Mm-hmm. If we miss it, we lose. Or do I want to kick the field goal and hope that I win
and delay the inevitable?
And well, not necessarily. Hope that I win the coin flip, and if I get the ball first, I score, I win. It's the only path that you have.
Yeah, and see, I couldn't count on that. Although Mark Andrews did have just an insane game.
He did.
I'm still dumbfounded.
It's a damn good team.
Tyler Huntley threw 40 passes yesterday. Do you know how many of his targets went to Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown?
27.
That's exactly right.
Nice.
It was 27. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Didn't have much of a running game behind him. He was the leading rusher on the team. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got into this argument on Twitter so many times last night that I lost count of it. The Ravens are going to miss the playoffs.
No.
No, you're not. Because you still have to play a Rams team that is going to be packing it in very quickly. Steelers team that you kind of owe one to.
Mm-hmm.
The game with the Bengals this week's for the division. Winner of that game's going to win this division.
Yep.
And I'm going to still maintain the same thing I have said the entire time. The Ravens are the team that nobody in the AFC wants to make the playoffs. Because, they're hurt, and they're all this bullshit. They're still really good, and they're still really well coached.
And they're terrifying to defend.
Yeah.
As Green Bay found out yesterday, It does not matter which of the quarterbacks it is.
Nope.
You still have to worry about it. Tyler Huntley played amazing yesterday. I mean, I give all the credit in the world to the Ravens for even making that a game. I didn't think it was going to be. You get a Lamar Jackson out of there, this is going to be blowout city. And that's not what it was. So I give them all the credit in the world. And I think that they are a playoff team. I don't believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. They should win that game. Cincinnati Bengals, I've said it before, they're not ready for prime time.
God, can we talk about Pittsburgh? For the love of all that's good and holy, can we talk about Pittsburgh?
What? They can't do anything offensively?
I've never seen a team that deserved to win a game less. Ever.
Well, I mean, he got handed the ball three times in 10 minutes.
4 times.
Yeah, but I'm saying in that 10, there was a 10-minute stretch where the Titans gave him the ball 3 times in 10 minutes.
I think
they couldn't do anything with it.
I think it's legitimately time to start talking about Ryan Tannehill.
I'm with you. I've been saying it for weeks that he's not the quarterback that he was when he had the running game behind him.
He's just very limited, and he looks a lot like Miami Ryan Tannehill right now.
I was going to say Carson Wentz, but okay. Yeah.
Carson Wentz is better than him right now.
You think so?
And to me, it's not even all that close.
Okay.
He has been absolutely dreadfully bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's 14th in QBR in the league.
Okay.
Do you know where he was when Derrick Henry got hurt?
4th.
3rd. Without Derrick Henry, he's not good.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not. And if you look at the game logs on him, it is dumbfounding that he has had. So Henry got hurt. Which game was that Henry got hurt in?
I don't remember.
I know he was hurt when they played New Orleans. I think he got hurt in the Rams game.
Okay.
If not, it was against Indianapolis. His QBRs since that Rams game, 48.2, 18.4, 39.2, 67.7, 20.8. The 67.5 was against Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
No.
That's markedly below league average. I mean, you're getting into Cam Newton, P.J. Walker,
Ryan Tannehill.
I was going to say Sam Darnold. Like, Jesus Christ, how many Panthers quarterbacks am I list off in a row? I didn't mean to do that either.
Right.
I think at this point you have to look at Ryan Tannehill and go, you're not that guy.
Mm-mm.
You're Baker Mayfield, but taller.
Yep.
You are a taller version of Baker Mayfield. You need the pieces around you. The pieces around him are great when they're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm looking at them. And I never thought I was going to say this year. And Anthony Hurt, he's been clamoring for us to say this. The Indianapolis Colts are the best team in that division. They may not win it because they do still lose the tiebreak. Mm-hmm. And they're a game behind them. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at Tennessee going, you go 49ers, Dolphins at the Texans. That Texans game will be a win. That will get you in the playoffs. I think you very easily could lose the other two. Mm-hmm. I mean, they play the 49ers on Thursday Night Football. I don't love how that's going to go for you.
Shellacked.
I could see them getting their brains beat up. Mm-hmm. The defense is good. You cannot lose a game like yesterday. Do you know how long the Pittsburgh Steelers had the ball yesterday?
No.
20 minutes.
That's it?
20 minutes and 52 seconds.
Damn.
The Titans had it for almost 40 full minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers had 12 first downs. Yes. 12! But you turned it over 4 friggin' times. Mm-hmm. And as long as you do that, you're not a legitimate team in this league.
Nope.
Now, do I think the Titans are going to be the best team that injuries has ravaged the most? Yes.
Really?
Full strength, I think they're better than Baltimore, but it's fractionally.
Okay.
At where they're at right now, that's not a playoff team.
Yeah.
It's not. And I don't even think it's debatable.
I mean, it is. I mean, records-wise, it is. But you're going to get killed when you get there. No, I understood
where
what you
they're
said.
sitting, they're not one of the 7 best teams in the AFC. Because I would argue right now the Patriots, Bills, and Dolphins are all 3 better. The Bengals, the Ravens, and there's 2 other AFC North teams. I don't really know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Because they just infuriate me. I think the Colts are better. I think the Chiefs are better. And I think the Chargers are better.
Okay.
Where they sit right now. You cannot turn the ball over this much.
Mm-hmm.
So for Tennessee, I know that Ravens fans always say, oh, we're the most killed by injury. I don't disagree with that. But I think it's worse.
Think about how good this team would be, though. Like if they had a fully healthy J.K. Dobbins, and they were able to, I feel like that damn Baltimore team should win 3 Super Bowls in the next 4 years. They're not going to, but I still feel like they are that kind of team.
It would help, but it's still just a running back.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still just a running back. I understand Derrick Henry, blah, 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 blah. There's not a running back in the history of my life that's been worth more than 2 points to a line. Mm-hmm. In the last 3 games, you have gotten the fuck beat out of you by the New England Patriots. You lost to the Texans, and you lost to the Steelers in a game that didn't even make any sense.
Right.
3 of the last 4. So I think there are big reservations to be had with the Titans.
Absolutely.
And they're not the only one. There's another team that I have great big old reservations about.
Okay.
Hashtag birds aren't real.
Yeah.
That team's not good. I hate to break it to you, that team's not good.
The best team in the NFC has fallen off in the last 4 weeks.
Armchair Commentary asked me in a text last night, what the fuck is happening? And Ronnie George, several other people actually asked me this. Mm-hmm. It's real simple. It's exactly what I told you my qualm with them was going into this year. Cliff Kingsbury's not a good coach. He's not. That team wasn't prepared in the least. They got run off the field by the Detroit Lions. Mm-hmm. Craig Reynolds ate your fucking lunchbox. Mm-hmm. Do you realize he averaged 4.5 yards a carry?
That's pretty good.
First of all, that kid's good. I don't give a damn what anybody says. I thought this last week watching him running against Denver. That's the best running back on that team. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean healthy running back. That's the best running back on that team. He's better than DeAndre Swift. He's better than Jamal Williams. But that's what this front office is really good at doing. Mm-hmm. It's finding guys off the trash heap and just going, yeah, you'll do.
Yeah. And
Amon-Ra St. Brown, I believe we can officially put him in that category of Jeremy Victories. So
yeah. Yeah, it's been a good 4 weeks.
I really need an NFL team to just hire me to draft receivers. Nothing else. Receivers and quarterbacks. And running backs. But skill position guys.
Just everything. I'll do it all.
Nope, just not defense. Yeah, because defense I can be super wrong. Weston Titans fan said I'm a diehard Titans fan. We won't win another game this year. I'm not going to agree with you on that because I think you'll beat the Texans the second time.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to be much healthier in the playoffs. The problem is that I'm afraid you're not going to be at home for a lot of the playoffs because I don't know that the Colts are going to lose another game. And I saw Anthony Hurt say Taylor should be in the conversation for MVP. He is. He's third.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, it's Brady and Rodgers are tied at 1 at plus 150.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor's third at plus 1,000.
Yep.
And I'm not sure that it's not the greatest bet you've ever seen.
If he keeps doing what he's doing, if he keeps getting these 150-plus multiple touchdown games, I'd say he's got to be your smart vote for MVP because look what happened to Tom Brady last night. I mean that dinged him big time. He got harassed by the Saints and could not put up points. And granted, he lost Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and Leonard Fournette, but still, you throw up a 0 burger against the New Orleans Saints. That's going to hurt your MVP. Yeah, this is going to hurt your case for MVP. Aaron Rodgers, he's probably if I had to vote today, I would vote for him and have Jonathan Taylor be 2.
Right now, if I had to vote for MVP, right now it'd be Jonathan Taylor 1, probably Aaron Rodgers 2. And Yosemite Sam 3.
Because nobody else deserves to be in the conversation.
I don't think I could, in clear conscience, put anybody else's name in that spot.
No. Cooper Kupp.
I very rarely do what I'm getting ready to do.
Yeah.
Joshua Penix in the comments said, I think you're overreacting to the Cardinals. I'm going to need you to explain that. Because that doesn't make any sense to me. This is a team that you have now seen since the Panthers game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so in the last 5 weeks, you got the fuck beat out of you by the Panthers. You got housed by the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
You were competitive-ish with the Rams, but that score is misleading as hell. That game was never really in doubt.
Right.
And you beat the Bears and the Seahawks. That's 2 of the 10 worst teams in the NFL.
And didn't blow them out specifically.
No, the Bears game was not really
close.
It
wasn't that close.
The Seahawks game really wasn't. Really, neither one of them were close. I don't see how you can look at this team and not go, something has happened. You have regressed tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you where it starts.
The offensive line?
No.
Where?
Kyler. Kyler has a problem. And I think teams have figured it out.
Okay.
The Rams unveiled it, and now I've seen 3 other teams do this. He cannot deal with interior pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You blitz him up the middle, he is screwed. Injuries, I get it. I completely understand that offensive line is not currently good and the defense is killed.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You just lost to a team that is talentless. And you didn't just lose to them. They beat the shit out of you.
Yep.
They physically manhandled you. And you had nothing for them. The thing I always liked about this team was that they out-schemed everybody. DeAndre Hopkins does not have that big of a role.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's good. Yes, he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. You couldn't do anything. If you take out late, and trust me, I played Christian Kirk, so I know exactly how much of his production was late.
Right.
If you take that away, they didn't do anything. Nothing offensively. You don't run well. He has some hang up with Chase Edmonds. I'm reasonably convinced that Chase Edmonds comes in and takes a shit on his desk every Tuesday. Because that's the only rational explanation I have.
Mm-hmm.
He is clearly the better of the 2 running backs and has virtually no role.
Yep.
There is reason to be scared with the Cardinals, and I'm going to level you. They're not even the best team in their own division.
You think it's the Rams now?
I don't think they're the second best team in their own division. I think I would take, if they played right now straight up, I would take the 49ers and I would take the Rams to beat them.
49ers over the Rams?
No, I'd take the 49ers to beat the Cardinals.
No. I'm saying, is that your order?
No, the Rams are 1.
Okay, all right.
It's close.
All
I
right.
like that 49ers team a lot.
All right.
And here's the
You said the 49ers first, so I just wanted to clarify because I think the same thing you do. It's Rams, 49ers, and then the Cardinals.
And here's the thing. Who are the Cardinals' next 2 games against?
Oh, God, I just saw it.
Colts, Cowboys.
Colts and at the Cowboys.
Yep. That's 2 losses.
Yeah.
This team's going to go into the playoffs at 11-6.
Mm-hmm. They could get killed by the Colts. Jonathan Taylor, chief among them.
And I totally understand that the Lions are killed. I get that. The problem is that Kyler Murray has, and I've always thought this about him, it's just this offense has been schemed so well that it didn't really matter. There are times that he drops back, and I swear to God, I don't think he even knows how this could possibly end well.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fade in the back of the end zone. I don't know how you could even possibly think that was going to be caught. Other than, unless you're just trying to get a PI,
right.
And you're throwing it at the best corner on the team by a long shot. He literally just dropped back, fell off his back foot, and prayed to Jesus because it almost hit the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
And it went a billion miles in the air.
He's thinking that every receiver he has is DeAndre Hopkins.
He's
they could jump up
super
there and
talented.
get it.
He's super talented.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't buy Cliff Kingsbury in the least. I think he's a great guy, does a lot of good shit. I don't think he's a good NFL head coach. I just don't, and I never have. I started to sway on it, and then as soon as the expectations rose, I mean, do you realize that this is a team that started 7-0 and since has gone 3-4?
Yep.
With losses to 2 of the 6 worst teams in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how that can't be weighing on you. You didn't have your center yesterday. Okay. You still had DJ Humphries. You still had Justin Pugh. You still had Josh Jones, and you still had Kelvin Beachum.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing one offensive lineman. In terms of
but the center,
defense,
the center means a lot for rhythm and all of that.
I get that. And he was on the COVID list and all that shit.
Mm-hmm. And
your D-line, your D-line, but at the end of the day, you're still playing 2 of the 3 starters.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing J.J. Watt. The other guys were every one of them was a role guy. It's not like you're playing all backups here.
Right.
You just don't have much depth. And at the end of the day, teams are running down their throats. And they just don't look good. All right, let me play a game. All right, I'm looking at the standings right now. As of right now, the Cardinals would be the 4 in the NFC.
Okay.
Which means they're either going to play the Rams, the 49ers, or the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Which of those teams are you taking them to beat?
Saints.
How?
I think I'd take them to beat the Saints.
You're telling me that line that just got eaten alive by the Detroit Lions is going to stop Cam Jordan and the Hellhounds that just beat Tom Brady's brains out? Do I know how they score? No.
Right.
But I don't like you in any of them.
But there again, they just proved you don't have to score and you can still win. They just 9-0 over what many believe to be one of the best offenses in the NFL. So yeah, I mean, I understand where you're going with that. There is trouble for the Cardinals.
And I'm Joshua Pitts. I don't know I can't tell if you're a Cardinals fan or not, but Pugh is hurt, and Josh Jones, we thought he was a tackle. He is a guard. They tried that; it did not work. And look, I got that one wrong. I love Josh Jones coming out of Houston. I fell for him just like everybody else did. But at the end of the day, everybody in the NFL is hurt now. Mm-hmm. Nobody feels good. The regression here looks like you're playing 5 backups. That's unsettling. And Cliff has nothing. He has no response to this. And that's where it gets scary to me. Because you go into the playoffs and you have to go up against Sean McVay or you have to go up against Kyle Shanahan. And you know what both of them are? They're every bit as innovative offensively as you are. Mm-hmm. So now that schematic advantage is gone. And Jimmy's and Joe's, you don't line up with them. Right. You don't.
Well, I mean, at least they have to look forward to, DeAndre Hopkins coming back, and hopefully they will get some more, they'll get some guys back and healthier before the playoffs.
And that will obviously
and so
help.
It'll help. I mean,
but you can't throw
it's not a completely
throw an injury
lost
thing
team.
at me when you're playing. The Detroit Lions have 20 NFL level players on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting your brains beat out by a team that half of them should be in the XFL. I don't want to hear the injury thing on that.
Right.
And it's the 3rd time you've done it in a month.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at some point you just have to look at it and go, okay, something's up. You can believe in it all you want to. I don't.
Right.
I don't, and I tie it right back to Cliff.
Not Kyler.
Kyler's not helping. The good is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But how short he is becoming a problem because teams have figured this shit out.
Mm-hmm.
He does not deal with interior pressure well.
They're tipping balls at the line.
Mm-hmm.
They're jumping his routes like he's. I don't know if he's telegraphing or what, but I mean, there were a couple of interceptions where there was the one yesterday where I mean, it just looked like he got baited into it. The diving interception that I don't even remember who it was on the defense that made the pick. But, I mean, it's almost like he's being baited into making these mistakes, and he's giving it to him.
All right, since the fourth game of the season, first week of October, Kyler started the year with 4 games over a 60 QBR.
Okay.
How many times has he done that since?
Twice.
Mm-hmm. And he's been below 50 in every other game. That's a problem.
Yep.
That's a problem.
Yep.
On a team that is this committed to the quarterback, and this is how you have to beat teams. They don't run that well.
Right. I'm there in lockstep with you. There is trouble for the Arizona Cardinals. The only team that I can trust in the NFC right now is the Green Bay Packers.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not singling out the Cardinals. I'd be honest with you, I don't really like. I have big questions about every team in the NFC that's not named Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I have more right now than I have with the Cardinals.
Right.
And Penix asked in the comments, how many players haven't had their best seasons under Cliff? Statistically, I can't disagree with you. Look what he replaced. I mean, your quarterbacks were a novelty
Right.
for many of those years. It's not an apples-to-apples comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want me to be honest, DeAndre Hopkins has not looked like DeAndre Hopkins pretty much the entire time they've been here.
You're right.
He's been here. Young Ham, we're like an AA meeting for sports.
What's up, Youngin?
Young Ham.
Yeah, Youngin. That's my nickname for him now.
You're a weird guy.
Piglet. Do you like Piglet better? It's Young Ham.
Oh,
Get it?
poor Piglet.
See?
I did enjoy that ham sandwich, though.
That is the most awful thing you've ever said.
I sure do miss Piglet.
Jesus.
Question on the how do the Rams win tomorrow? I'm going to try to be as not glib as I can be.
Okay.
Which is difficult for me.
Okay.
Because that's kind of my home run swing. Show up. Show up wearing the uniform that you're supposed to because you're playing the damn Seahawks.
I was going to say, run the damn ball.
Run the damn ball.
Ride Sony Michel. I mean, while he's got the hot hand, you're going up against Seattle. They suck.
Patrick Holt said, I have a nice young ham in my fridge right now for Christmas.
There you go.
As do I. I named it Piglet.
And you're going to do that creepy Winnie the Pooh voice.
Oh, yeah, all day.
Just all day long.
That's good.
And like Herbert, the...
Is that muesli on, babe?
The Rams win by just doing what they do. The Seattle Seahawks are awful.
Yeah, they're
Were
bad.
you playing in Seattle? I might feel a little bit different because the atmosphere is different in Seattle, even though they suck. But still, I don't think you have a whole lot to worry about. I mean, it depends on who comes back. I'm hinged on a lot of that for the games today and tomorrow. Who's going to be activated for the game? What now?
I've seen 4 honey glazed piglets in the comments. I believe it is honey glazed, and it will be delicious.
Mm-hmm.
PETA, you can address those to @JGreenESPN on Twitter. Because I don't give a fuck what you think.
Nope.
It's going to be delicious.
Nope. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Seahawks and the Rams. And like I said, you got to wait and find out who's actually going to play in this game.
That's how I feel about all these games.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this in the show. I would love to have somebody at the NFL explain to me how many more players you think are going to play in these 2 games that you put off. The Browns tonight, I won't be shocked if they don't have a handful more guys available.
Well, even a handful would matter because you had 23? 23 of their
They're
guys.
not the only team.
Oh, I know.
Oh, breaking news.
But that was the whole point.
Baker Mayfield and Case Keenum did not clear the COVID protocols.
Oh, no.
So here we go with Nick Mullins.
Yeah.
As somebody that needs the Raiders to win, for me to win this week and gain a game on Bubble Up over here, let's go Raiders.
Fire up Nick Mullins. Just handing off the Nick Chubb.
Oh, yeah. I would put 9 in the box.
It's the Nick and Nick show.
Play.
It's the Nick and Nick show.
Holy shit. I just realized it's 10:56.
Is it really? Yep,
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It is
Let's
that
see.
time.
How many of these stills have we not done?
Oh, all of them.
Oh, wait. We got one we haven't talked about.
I mean, we don't need to. We can skip this one. We can
For
move on
some
to the
reason,
next.
I hate this soundbite, but it's a lot more funny when I can go,
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
Yeah, we ran out of powder.
yeah, you ran out of something.
We didn't have any powder left.
And you need a new service, bro. Thanks for just throwing shit around, Tom. Those don't grow. There are a lot of sad children that would love to have had that Surface Pro that you beat the shit out of. Did you see him run over and tell the Saints coach to go fuck himself?
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was great. There was a coach for the Saints that was out there just, all right, guys, get back on the right track. And Brady just walks over dead to his face and goes, but you go fuck yourself. And I went, well, I do declare.
Old man hadn't had his Metamucil, man.
I wish you would have taken that glove off and slapped him in the face and challenged him to a pistols at dawn.
Right. I'm going to go back to the, God damn it, Tom, can you not learn to take a nap during the middle of the day?
What is his problem with primetime
He can't
games?
play in primetime games. I mean, or at least play the way he's supposed to.
Old Metamucil Brady.
I mean, on paper, this was a no-doubter. And then, there again, you got the Saints just completely befuddling him and the Bruce Arians offense. I mean, think about it. That's actually, they had the perfect answer, the perfect game plan. Every time they have played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the perfect game plan to fuck with Tom Brady. You get pressure. We've seen this over and over again in Tom's career. It's the one way that you can make Tom, mortal. Get in his face. Make him uncomfortable. The offensive line did nothing to help him out yesterday.
Yeah, maybe
Alex Kappa did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I didn't watch a ton of this game because I was really tired of assaulting my eyes.
I felt like Joey Styles from ECW, just like, oh, my God. He got killed.
Yeah, this was
time in and time again.
This was not a. But Marquez Callaway, he a dog.
Yeah,
Marquez Callaway's a dog.
Catching balls in traffic, fighting
for
50-50 balls. I mean, he did it all yesterday.
I'm just dumbfounded by that kid.
Why? Because you didn't think he was going to be worth the shit when he came out?
No, I like the talent on him. I'm just dumbfounded that even my fear with him was that getting number one coverage, because he is clearly the one, that would really screw with him. And it has. I mean, he hasn't been great this year.
I was going to say Tampa doesn't have a number one, so.
But there have been times this year I look at him and go, good God, when Michael Thomas comes back, you're going to be a dude.
Could be.
Oh, by the way, and I'd be remiss if I didn't point this out. Taysom Hill sucks at playing quarterback.
Yes.
Taysom Hill is as good of a quarterback in the NFL as I would be ballerina in Swan Lake. It is ugly to watch. He has the longest throwing motion I think I've ever seen. I mean, I've been doing this for a lot of years. I don't know that I've ever seen a quarterback that has to wind himself up to throw. Somehow they're going to make the playoffs, and I don't even kind of get it.
It's defense, man.
But, I mean, they still have games with the Panthers and the Falcons.
Win.
I don't disagree with you.
Right. I mean, I told you this last week, and you laughed at me. Oh, you're doing it wrong. You got the New Orleans Saints in the playoffs.
And I still think you are, to be honest with you.
I don't see
Because you
how.
could not possibly have seen what happened last night.
No, I didn't. I had them losing that game, but winning every other game, and then, the rest of the teams in that chase just kind of shit on themselves.
I don't know that they can beat the Dolphins. I don't know that they can beat the Dolphins.
I don't know.
I mean, I like that it's in New Orleans. I like that you just incited the fan base.
That was the game. That was the clincher game for me.
Ahead of a Monday Night Football game. Oh, God. What? Why? Why do we have the Saints on primetime 4 times in 6 weeks? Good Lord. Why?
Because they were supposed to be so good, weren't they?
Weren't.
No, they weren't. This was they made the schedule thinking maybe Drew Brees will come back. I have no idea what they were thinking.
Hey, here's what they were thinking. Hey, you know what's really good? Gumbo. And we can go get some. every time we go to New Orleans.
Yeah, Patrick Holt, I saw that same meme. The meme that said Taysom Hill makes more money than the entire WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's shocked by that.
I wasn't. I scrolled right on past that.
I saw it and went, ha! Truth hurts, doesn't it?
Is what it is.
Who fucking cares? Yeah, play it. Play it.
Who the fuck cares?
It makes all the financial sense in the world. Just delve into it. Anyway, yeah, last night was awful.
HWA said I've been underestimating the Saints for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do me a favor. Tell me what division winner they can beat in the playoffs.
None of them.
There you go.
None of them. But they're not playing division winners, and they're not playing for a division title here.
No.
They're playing to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but they'll play a division winner in the playoffs.
Right.
They're irrelevant in the playoffs.
Agreed. Nobody expects them to win a game in the playoffs.
They suck.
But they can make the
God,
playoffs.
they suck. God, I hate New Orleans. But
I do too.
But they beat your team.
Mm-hmm.
So the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes. 9-0. Holy hell. And now we found out Chris Godwin is going to be done for the regular season. Could be back in the playoffs. I was surprised more than anything after the hit that he took. They were like, "Oh, he's got a knee injury." How the fuck was that his knee? Because I saw his head touch his asshole. I don't understand how that's a knee.
Yeah, your receiving core woke up this morning and just said,
I'm broke as shit, and I don't mind saying.
Right. Mike Evans gets hurt. Leonard Fournette goes down, and for some reason, Tom was off the mark. Like he had some plays where it was, oh, this is a Rob Gronkowski play. Nope, overthrew him, underthrew him. Gronk obviously is not getting better. Can we talk about that for a second? Like Rob Gronkowski slowing down at a marked rate.
he's never exactly been a gazelle.
I'm not saying he is. I'm saying he looks like a 58-year-old football player out there
and
playing.
he has for a long time.
No.
He's looked like this for years.
I don't know about that.
Now,
to me,
is
it
he
just looks
aging?
markedly
Yes.
worse. It just looks markedly worse. He looks more and more lumbering as the weeks go on, and I won't be surprised if he calls it quits.
Now, I will say, we have exclusive audio. I got this from Pete Carmichael himself.
Uh-huh.
The disrespect around this place is ending today.
And from Tom Brady.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
No.
I love this
I know you
so
do.
much.
I know you do.
This is
It's
even
one
more
game.
fun than the
It's one
Alabama
game.
fight song for me.
It's one game. We'll move on. Some reason Tom Brady can't beat the Saints.
Nobody circles the wagons like the New Orleans Saints.
And I don't know if that was intentional, but on the game recap on ESPN.com this morning, I was reading it, and that was the first line was, nobody hassles Tom Brady like the New Orleans Saints. And for some reason, I read that in the Chris Berman voice. I don't know if that was intended or not, but nobody hassles Tom Brady like the New Orleans Saints.
Nobody breaks an iPad like Tom Brady.
He did give that thing hell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like a 4-year-old that was all out of chicken nuggets. Just beat that shit into the ground.
But it's going to be a battle of attrition in the NFL. The healthier team is going to rise to the top here, and I'm yesterday's events were more evidence for me to go, yep, you need to put all of your money on Green Bay to win the Super Bowl.
I would agree with that.
Right now, they look like the number one team that can make the run and raise that trophy in Los Angeles this year.
And Baltimore gave them a hell of a run.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
There's two more teams that we have to talk about, and we have a question in the chat.
Okay.
Can we talk about it's from, and I've lost it now. Dak still looking suspect yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That game went exactly how I thought it would, except the Giants didn't score that last touchdown, which I thought they were going to.
Mm-hmm.
And damn it, they tried. But Jake from State Farm, you dipshit, you big unibrow ass hat. God. I was so close to right on that game. Mm-hmm. It went almost verbatim how I said it was going to go. Dallas, they'll be able to move the ball, but they're not going to score a ton of points. And then the Giants coming in back door cover late.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Jason Trump said not an iPad. Microsoft paid a lot of money. Oh, yeah, so it's an iPad times 2X monies.
The Surface.
Oh, yeah. Those things are expensive as shit. And they don't do dick. I mean, look, I love taking shots at Apple. I can't do it with that one.
Right. No, there's something wrong. I'm starting to buy the whole slump thing with Dak Prescott.
But there's nothing wrong with him. It's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
There's this fantasy in people's heads that first 6 games of last year, Dak Prescott's who he is. No, this is who he is.
Right.
We've seen this. There's nothing wrong with him. It's exactly who he is. It's not a great stretch. It's a Dak stretch.
Yeah.
He is the sum of all parts of what's around him. He's not a great arm talent. He's not a great quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say something that's going to piss people off, and that is what it is.
Okay.
Dak Prescott is the most high-profile game manager in NFL history because that's what he is.
Okay.
He's a game manager with really pretty stats because when that team plays their best, the defense is really good, they run the ball really well, and Dak throws for about 265 and 2 touchdowns. And you win games just like this.
Yeah. And that ain't going to win you games in the playoffs.
Mm-mm.
That's the problem. That's the problem that the Dallas Cowboys have. And unfortunately, is this the best that it ever could be? Is this the best that it's going to be for Dallas?
Oh, God, yeah.
Which is kind of sad to think about.
Because you're up against it monetarily.
Mm-hmm. You've got all of these huge contracts that you're not going to be able to continue.
Micah Parsons.
I want to say that this is a team that can win a Super Bowl at some point. But you don't think it's ever going to happen.
I don't. Micah Parsons will be the 5th rookie to ever get Defensive Player of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year votes in the same year.
Right.
Can you name the others?
No.
Lawrence Taylor, Javon Curse, and I don't remember
the freak.
Yeah,
I
Javon
completely
Curse.
forgot about the freak. He was awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the great votings I've ever seen. It was Javon Curse got every single first place vote.
Right.
And some of the people that voted for that didn't even put a second. Like, they just went 1.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Just remember seeing it in the newspaper as a kid. Like, Javon Curse. Aaron Donald was one of them. Alex Sainer. That is correct. Aaron Donald. I don't remember who the 4th one was. And it's going to bug this. It might have been Derek Thomas.
Sounds
might
about
have been
right.
Derek Thomas.
Elite players.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of elite, we have an elite team in the AFC.
In the AFC?
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals? The Bengals are your elite team?
Nobody circles the... Sorry.
I don't agree. Why?
Defend yourself.
Why are the Cincinnati Bengals the elite team in the AFC?
I didn't say they were the elite team.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
They were an elite team.
An elite team in the AFC. Okay. Well, I mean, best teams in the AFC right now, not record-wise, just the way they're playing, I think it's Kansas City 1, Indianapolis 2, and then, I'll put Cincinnati at 3. No, Baltimore at 3, Cincinnati at 4.
Where's New England?
New England's not in there.
Yeah, you're okay. Now you're overreacting.
I'll put them behind all of those other ones.
Yesterday was proof positive. One of the things that I look for in teams that I'm going to believe in the playoffs is when you can win games that you shouldn't.
Okay.
You went on the road. You had 12 first downs, 2 of which were from penalties, and you still won.
Mm-hmm.
As a team that's only an offensive team. But the problem is exactly what I just saw in the comments from Stephen Towle. Zach Taylor's a problem. Zach Taylor's not a very good coach. And I can't tell if it's going to be more beneficial for this team that they're going to make the playoffs. You're probably not going to stay around for long. I think they'll put the fear of God in somebody in the first round and probably get bounced. But now you're stuck with Zach Taylor. I'm not sure that you wouldn't have been better off missing the playoffs and this being the most attractive job on the market. Because Zach Taylor's not good at this. But this team's really good.
Yeah, they are.
They play Baltimore next week for what's probably the division.
Mm-hmm.
You end up with Kansas City, who will have the division locked up by then, I believe. Then you play at the Browns, who I think you're markedly better than.
Mm-hmm. Cincinnati Bengals win the division. True or false?
I'm going to say yes because I think they win 2 of those last 3 games, and one of them's against Baltimore, and they'll win the tiebreaker against Baltimore.
Yep.
They are going to throw the house at Baltimore this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw enough from Green Bay just to go that, you know what, a number 1 receiver is going to eat your lunchbox. Yeah, I think they're going to win the division.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they will
win.
win.
If you had told me that before the year, I would have said you are doing drugs at a level that Keith Richards would be jealous of.
They're no doubt overachievers, and I think they're a fine team.
They're very, very good.
But I don't think they can win it all. They're just not a team that I think is going to threaten for the Super Bowl.
I think they can. I think their high side can threaten for that. Just like the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Their good is so good. Their bad is hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the first teams all year that shut down Cordero Patterson.
Okay. I give you that.
That means something.
Well, this is a bad team, though. I mean,
Falcons?
that was a bad team that they played.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
I'm well aware of that.
I just don't want you going overboard on this, they beat the shit out of the Falcons, so they're so good. They are good.
Well, I mean, I've thought that the whole time. I didn't get swayed by this.
Okay.
What I got swayed by is you're doing things to bad teams that is exactly what good teams do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at San Francisco and you're really completely honest, their losses have almost, if you take out the Seahawks, which is dumbfounding,
mm-hmm.
all of their losses are against teams that are top 5 in the NFL. Or were at the time.
Okay.
I think this team's really, really good. And if I was an NFC team, I would be afraid that the best we've seen from them might be what we're seeing right now. They've won 5 of 6.
Mm-hmm.
And that one loss was a Seahawks game that was just, I still don't fully understand 3 weeks later.
Right. And then they got the Titans, which they're going to win that game.
This team is so different when George Kittle's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so unbelievably different.
Houston Texans, they'll beat the shit out of them. And then they go.
I didn't mean to go full Bill Walton right
You're
there.
good. And then they go to the Rams at the end of the season.
They're unbelievable.
They finish out 11-6. They're going to be in the playoffs, and they're a team that nobody wants to face.
Mm-hmm. Fact or fiction, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel is the best combination of pass catchers in the NFL. Somebody asked me this yesterday.
Might be fact. I don't know.
Name one better.
About that.
Name one better.
I mean, shit, I would go to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jamar Chase.
I wouldn't take them over.
Really?
No way. No way. Deebo Samuel's one of the 3 most elusive players in the NFL, and George Kittle's just so damn consistent. That's the thing about them. You know they're getting theirs every week.
Mm-hmm.
When they're healthy.
One way
that's
or the
the
other.
problem, is that they're virtually never healthy together.
Right. One way or the other,
Now
they're
they
getting
are.
theirs.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I sat there and looked at that question for probably an hour, just going, okay, there's got to be one. And I came across
Wouldn't be
Evans
Travis
and
Kelce,
Godwin.
Tyreek Hill?
I thought about that one too, but they're never good at the same time. I mean, it happens.
I mean, they were this week.
I know. Well, that was in a shootout game.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that offense still doesn't look as... All right, I'll tell you what got me to this.
Okay.
I don't find their offense to be overly prodigious. You're worried about those 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Nobody can stop them. Nobody can stop them on a week-in, week-out basis.
Well, in the last few weeks, Brandon Ayuk has come around to be a threat, and he's, I'm just saying, he's another weapon that you have to worry about. Now that they've finally found some kind of a groove.
Come around.
Mm-hmm.
He's been more of a big play hitter. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He's not a down-out threat.
They're definitely up there. I don't know about number one, but they're up there.
One, and I genuinely, I tried to convince myself otherwise. Mm-hmm. But I think George Kittle and Travis Kelce's a fucking wash.
I mean,
I do. I think
Justin
it's a wash.
Jefferson, Adam Thielen have to be in that conversation too.
Thielen's hurt constantly.
That's true.
And if you told me, all right, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Mm-hmm. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Adam Thielen's good. He ain't to the level of the other five I said. He's not. Okay. He's not that good.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel is the most underrated player in the NFL, and somehow that is still the case. How many players do you think could line up in the backfield and play running back? Honestly, in this league. Mm-hmm. That ain't many.
No.
He's so good. It's another one I hit on. Injury issues. God, I remember watching him at Southgate. Him and Shi Smith. Mm-hmm. It's two dudes that played at the same school that I just never could fathom. There's nobody else on his team. How in the fuck can you not stop them? Oh, because they're that good.
Right.
Oh, because they're that good.
Yeah. Season started today. If the season started today, the Baltimore Ravens would be out of the playoffs.
Playoffs started today. You said if the season started today.
Okay. Excuse me. If the playoffs started today, the Baltimore Ravens would be out in the AFC.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to stay that way, but the question is, who
falls out? That's right. Who falls out? Is it going to be the Tennessee Titans? No, I think they're too far ahead right now.
Well, here's the thing. One of these teams is not going to make the playoffs. The Cincinnati Bengals, the Indianapolis Colts, the LA Chargers, the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. One of those teams ain't making the playoffs.
It's not going to be the Buffalo Bills.
It could be.
It's not. They play the Falcons and the Jets.
And I'm aware of that.
They're going to get to 11 wins. There's no way an 11-win team's not making the playoffs.
If they lose the tiebreaker to damn near everybody. Literally, they lose the tiebreaker to damn near everybody.
You know?
The only one that they won't lose the tiebreaker to is Baltimore, and you lose one more game in the conference, and you're going to lose it to them. And if I'm not mistaken, the tiebreaker, if you have the same record, which they very well could, is common opponents, and Baltimore would beat them.
Well, Indianapolis is still the one that I look at and go, you might not make it. You may not.
And I don't see how you can say that.
Well,
I really don't.
Well, because
who do they have left that you look at and go, yeah, they're going to lose to them? The Cardinals? They just got
the
piss beat out of them by the fucking Lions?
It's the toughest one they have.
The Raiders and the Jaguars.
I mean, they can win out. And, you know, it's a great possibility that they win out and go 11-6 and make the playoffs.
And before we get out of here, I want to just state this for the record. If you want to know how absolutely bizarre the AFC is, the Las Vegas Raiders are currently in 13th in the AFC. They could be in the playoffs in a week. They need like 4 things to happen, and they're the 7th seed. Mm-hmm. Mind-boggling. The last 3 weeks of the season are going to be ridiculous.
All right, we're going to get out of here. We will be with you this afternoon at 3 on ESPN Asheville locally, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You can hear us, of course, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We'll talk more playoff scenarios in the NFL. Who will be the teams that are left out? We will declare that this afternoon. Also, we will give you, of course, the picks for tonight's games. We got one at 5 o'clock with the Las Vegas Raiders and the Cleveland Browns, and then you got the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears in a beatdown in the NFC North. All of that coming your way this afternoon, kicking off this Christmas week in fine fashion. We will see you next time.